back to my channel. This week on my channel, I wanted to talk to you guys about how I develop characters. So if that's what you're here for, stay tuned. Okay, so when I originally get an idea for a story, it usually starts with an idea and then the characters kind of shape themselves as it goes. So the current story that I'm working on, it's actually a working title. It's called Stumbled. It's about a band and just the relationships that are between these characters. It's a romance novel. It's a new adult romance novel. When I started writing it, I actually kind of started with the characters this time, and this is pretty much usually what it looks like. I don't know if you can actually see this. I don't really want you to. But there's a lot of scribble on this page. It basically started with my two main characters and basically like what they looked like, what instrument he played, what she was going to school for, specifics and stuff like that, like their family dynamics, things like that. I just try to get all of that like word vomit out of the way. And then it slowly turned into more detailed word vomit. That became like this, and then some more of this. And then I started kind of like plotting out other characters on the side and stuff like that, and like minor characters that are eventually I would like to go back and add, like do another like spin-off stories, standalones, that kind of thing. But once you're like into a story, like there's so many characters that I have going on right now, it's really hard for me to like keep straight, like I know who's who obviously, but like all the like little details about everybody, it's kind of like, wait, who has that color hair and what color eyes? And so if you've ever had that dilemma while you're writing, you feel my pain. So I came up with this method to kind of like keep myself better organized, something to like at a glance. So that way when I'm working, I can, instead of having to like, okay, I need to go back to like chapter 1 or chapter 3 where I introduce this character, like what do they look like, what are they doing, that kind of thing. I ended up making this little, I took this little file folder and I ended up putting Post-its with all the characters' names and just like little tidbits about them. I haven't filled all of it in yet. I haven't finished transferring all my information. But this has actually been super helpful as far as like not having to go back to chapters and stuff. I haven't completely filled all of it in yet because I'm still kind of like working forward. And then when I like think like, oh yeah, I need to know that for later, then I'll like jot it down in here. So this has been super helpful, and I really wish I had started this from the beginning. I really like this method. So like I've got my main character, and then I've got his parents are on here because they're a key to the story, and then we've got the main female lead, and then her parents, I know what they are, and I know like characteristics about them, but I don't yet know their names and that kind of thing because we haven't actually like introduced them yet because they're going to come in later. We haven't introduced his yet either, but I had to introduce his father just for like premise of him and that kind of thing. So they're there, and then I've got his bandmates and her roommate, and then also her ex and her best friend and her boyfriend. So yeah, those are all the characters I've got right now, and I think it's super helpful to have something like this to just kind of keep yourself organized, and it's been super helpful. Like it's much more helpful to me to glance at this than have to like go through all of this. So yeah, this is pretty much what I've been doing as far as keeping my characters organized. It's like when you have people you meet, you sometimes like you don't always remember all the details about them, and when you're creating these people in your head, it's like you make them up. They are what you want them to be, and sometimes it's like you can't just call like, hey, what color are your eyes again? So it's really good to actually like write that stuff down and remember. So that's what I've been doing to keep myself more accountable as far as my character development is going. The other day I actually had like, I knew what I wanted to transpire in the novel, but I hadn't quite found like that, like this is what's going to be that like turnkey point. I knew what I wanted it to be, like I needed it to be something, I knew what I needed it to be, but I didn't know what I wanted it to be yet. And while I was kind of deducing what I wanted to do the other day and like their parental characters and stuff, I was like, that's it. Like I had this moment where I was like, that's what I'm gonna do, and it pretty much transpired like the whole rest of the story for me. So now I'm like actually on this like path where I actually know what's happening in the story, and I know what's going to happen, and I know how it's gonna end. And I've never had that happen with a story before, except for in college I wrote a screenplay that I actually had to finish for a grade, so that's actually done. At least the first draft of it's done, but I actually had to like know all the things that were happening in that story. So yeah, this is the first story really. Like, I've started a lot of stories and I've thought I knew how I wanted them to go, but I would usually get to that point where I was like, I'm not really sure if I want to take it this way because I don't know if that works or if that I like the way that works. So I feel like that's been a lot of my problem with like finishing stories. And I feel like when I had the revelation about like, yes, that's what I needed to, like, that's it. I don't know, it was just really, it was cool. So now I'm like even more stoked about the story and all these characters. I would love to put a chapter of this up on Wattpad, but I just the other day redid chapter 1 after I had my like ending revelation, so I needed to edit more. So I really don't want to put up anything yet just because I don't know if something else is going to change before then. I would like to at least get through the first draft before I put anything up, so it's probably going to be a while before you guys get anything, but I might, now that I kind of know where it's going, I might write a teaser and put it up somewhere. I'll let you know. What? What are you barking at? But yeah, I find this is really helpful because I actually like, well, I'll write at home and then I'll also like, I'll sit outside with my dog and I'll write on my tablet because I can open up my programs in there. And then also when I'm at work on lunch and stuff, sometimes I'll work there. So it's nice to have something just like quick and easy to just like take to reference. So this has been super helpful. It's also nice because it's a folder, so you can always just stick other papers you need in there, which is nice too. But yeah, I'd really like to know how you guys develop your characters. Jojo. I'd really like to know how you guys develop your characters. If you have any tips for me, I'd love to hear them. I hope this video was helpful in some way for you guys on your character development and your writing. And I hope you guys are having an amazing week, and I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you guys next Tuesday. Bye!